Okay, but you said that you would divorce a woman based on if she one of your children.
I answered your crazy question. Yes. And I said,
There's nothing crazy about it. Here's why it's not crazy. I demonstrated to you that just by in lieu of you having people who are not a biological parent inside of the household, right? The chances of a child getting hurt or injured by this other person who's not a biological parent drastically go up. I can give you all of the data on this if you'd like it. I can
can
link
you
it
say
to
that one
you.
more time? I
Yes,
apologize.
if it is the case that you live in a household with non-biological parents, your chances of injury drastically increase. Drastically increase. So if the state has custody of you, drastically increase. You have a stepdad, it increases. Stepmom, it increases. And in polygamous homes where there's multiple wives, the chances of a child getting hurt increase by the non blooded parent. They increase. That is in
Are these
fact,
Israelites or
hang on, is that is in fact the case when you study polygamy. So the thing is that why it is pertinent is because your chances would increase of one of your wives hurting one of your children that's not one of her biological offspring. So it's pertinent for me to ask inside of your religion, could you leave her? You said yes. And then you said the only way for you to leave a person or divorce them, separate yourself from them, is actually through fornication. This is a P not P contradiction. It's a literal P not and not P. So you have to reconcile this contradiction. How can you divorce your wife if she murdered one of your children? How can you do that?
because in the Bible, when David was dancing, he just united he just united all 12 tribes. He dancing on a dance floor, getting busy. And as he dancing, I guess his skirt or his garment or whatever showed a little bit, and the ladies was going wild. And then one of his wives complained about it. And he said, I'll get my glory from them rather, that you did not give me. And he put her up in a tower, turned her into Rumpelstiltskin, never had kids with her, never did anything with her.
Yeah, can you answer my
Now,
question now?
this is answering your question. So the reason why I can put her away is
Uh-huh.
because of the heinous act in your scenario
Okay.
that she did.
Can you
In
put
real, wait, why can't I finish answering?
okay.
In
Well,
real
how
time,
long are you going to filibuster, dude? I just want to get through the questions. The answer is yes, you can, right? You can divorce her
yeah, I can.
absent fornication.
In a normal environment, no. In the absurd environment that you say, no.
What? Can you divorce her or not?
Sorry, I said that wrong. In the absurd environment that you created, yes.
Okay,
In the
so then
normal environment,
can you divorce her if she diddles one of them?
yes. If you
Okay, so
when you say diddle,
molest them.
you talk
Yeah,
about another
molest them.
woman, right?
Yeah, woman's molesting one of your sons. Can you divorce her for that?
Yeah, I don't understand these weird questions right here, man.
They're super
You a
pertinent.
freak. You might have been with
Yeah, this
Epstein.
is not freakish. When you open up by talking about how the Catholic priest molests children, that's perfectly relevant.
Then
And
when
when
you
I
go
talk
in
about
your
abuse,
mind
but when I talk
and
about
say this
abuse and
freaky stuff
polygyny,
you think
that's not relevant. It's like, what are you
you
talking
definitely
about?
with Epstein. You
Yeah,
was with
whatever.
Epstein.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Epstein. So
Hey,
anyway,
Cap, it's relevant. There's
it's
answer the
totally.
questions, man.
Not only is it totally relevant.
Why he can talk about my language? I couldn't read a word, but when I do something to him, you got to say something.
You can
Yo,
attack me. I
Cap, I
don't
was
care.
totally fair,
Look, I
Cap.
don't
I've
give
been
a shit.
chilling.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
care about any of your insults. I just want the
Yeah,
questions
there you
answered.
go.
So,
There you
so
go.
it's the case then that you can divorce outside of fornication, outside of your wife cheating with another man.
In your Epstein-minded view, I would not stay with anybody that's less than a kid,
Uh huh.
that's unaliving a kid,
Yeah.
nor would they be a part of our community because you cannot molest kids and be amongst us.
Yeah, but like that's so stupid. There's no way for you to notate that to know that this will be the case or not the case. If you had like 6 wives and they all lived in a household with you, right? One of them could kill feasibly one of your other children. They could do that. They could just have postpartum depression and drown them. Just drown them in a tub. They get angry one day and do that. Like that shit happens. It's not a joke. I don't know why you think that this is Epstein Island conspiratorial tinfoil hat stuff. That could happen. And if it does, I just want you to say that, yes, you can leave her for that.
I said it already, though.
Okay, then if that's the case, you're in a performative contradiction because you believe it's only under the idea of fornication that you can leave your wife, and that's it. And yet here you say, no, you can leave her for other extenuating circumstances as well. How about this? Okay, is it the case that if you found out that your wife was robbing everybody else in your family, okay, and was also an addict, could you leave her then?
No.
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 You couldn't leave her then?
No.
No.
I wouldn't. I would fix her.
Okay. And then what if it's the case that you found out that your wife, before you met her, right, had a multitude of sexual partners that you were unaware of and had contracted HIV? Could you leave her then?
I would know that before I got with her.
Yeah, it didn't show up on the tests, the HIV, and she hit her pass. She hit it. She hit it from you.
I get the part about the sex, but how is HIV hitting?
Well, but you go down, you get a test. Let's just say you go down and get a test. The HIV doesn't show up on the test for whatever reason. There's some, mistake at the lab, perhaps something like this. You find out she has HIV. You found out that she had tons of sexual partners before you that she did not disclose to you, and you married her anyway. Can you leave her then?
Yeah, I wouldn't be with her no more.
Okay, yeah, so you can leave her then. So there's all kinds of so there's all sorts of ways in which you can leave your wife even if she's not cheating on you with somebody. So you're just lying. You're lying to us. You're lying to everybody who's listening. You lied about how it is that you're able to separate yourself from your wife. You are caught in a performative contradiction. You lied, sir. And not only that, let's point this out. How could it be the case that polygyny, under this, especially under your idealism of polygyny, how's that going to help the West? How's that actually going to help the West?
When you say under my ideal, can you explain what you mean?
Yeah, whatever you think the rules are when it comes to polygyny. Like, for instance, can your wives have sex with each other?
No.
Can you have sex with them at the same time?
No.
Okay, can you ejaculate halfway in one and then the rest of the way in another?
That's the same. This the Epstein portion of the battle, y'all.
It's important. It's important to make these distinctions.
I just said I can't have sex with them at the same time. So why would your mind say?
Could you have sex? Because they're different questions. Could you have sex with one of them in the same bed, another one sleeping in?
That's fornication. No.
Well, how is that fornication? You're not sleeping with her.
They can't see each other's nakedness.
Okay, so in your view, when it comes to
Epstein file,
when it comes to this,
Cooley, this some weird questions.
What is correct for you under polygyny is that you can have as many wives as you sleep with becomes your wife, right? You have to take care of those women. Is that
as many?
What's that?
You cannot have as many.
Well, you're going to have as many as you sleep with, right?
What I mean by that is that's why I referenced Deuteronomy 17:17 when it says, "Do not multiply wives to yourselves, that it tempts your heart of what is."
Yeah, but if somebody decided to go ahead and sleep with 30 women, under your view, he's married to all 30 of those women, right?
Yes.
And he needs to take care of all of those women as though they were his wife, right?
You said what?
And he needs to take care of all those women as though they are his wife, right?
A great manager would.
Okay, yes. So if this is the case, what would be the enforcement arm here to make sure that these men take care of all the women that they have sex with? How would you enforce that in the West?
That's actually a good question. And what I want to say is all of this weird shit that he said from Epstein Island, monogamous people do all the time.
No, monogamous people don't come in one woman then come in another. They're not monogamous definitionally.
They ejaculate in one, put it in another.
No, they don't. That would be definitionally not monogamy.
Yes, they do.
No, that wouldn't be monogamy.
So now,
but anyway, who cares? Answer the question, please.
So to answer your question, and here's the beautiful part about us as Israelites, the way that we teach it. America is a cesspool of fornication. Monogamous or polygamous, they don't do it right. That's why he asked me these weird questions. He's asking me these weird questions because there are people like Neo, for example, the entertainer Neo.
You just answer the question, dude.
This is the answer. Why you all in your feelings, man?
I just want you to answer. How would you enforce this?
I'm answering. We would
You're not
enforce
going to
it
answer it. Okay.
by re-educating our men and women the value of sex itself. The whole reason why we say sex is marriage, because the world does not believe that. Andrew and I do agree that the paper means nothing as far as marriage goes, but the world does not. The world believes that as long as I don't have that paper marriage, I can have sex with whoever I want to have sex with. So when we come and teach, we actually put the value on sex by re-educating and saying, no, you don't sow your oats and sleep with every woman. You don't have sex with every man. If you have sex with that woman, you got to keep her. And then what did that do? What does that do? That forces you to find out about her past.
Yeah.
His
What about
past.
enforcement, though? Can we get to that part? How do you enforce
And
it?
we teach it. We don't force any. See, white people will say force because that's what y'all do. Y'all
Yes.
rape, enslave, and pillage.
Yes.
So
Well,
you
you're going to
should
have
really
to use.
ask. You should
Well,
ask.
wait
your
a
people.
second. You are going to have to use force necessarily, because if somebody says that they're a part of your church and they want to be a part of your church, and you say, no, you can't be a part of our church, you're going to enforce that, right?
No, when
You're
you
not?
say enforce, I mean stop them. Like if you tried to come into my school, I would say no, you can't.
Right. So they're going to
And
use
then if you tried
enforcement.
to force you, but you would have to force your way,
Yes.
and we would be defending ourselves. We
Yeah. So
wouldn't be
you would be
forcing anything.
using force to defend yourself, right?
Right. And that
Okay.
instance, yes.
Yeah. So
But
when
we
we're
don't
talking,
go out and force people.
yeah, I get it.
Okay.
You're just talking about basic force doctrine here, right? So
Right.
the idea here,
No,
though, is that
y'all force, your people force.
whatever it is, you're saying defense, it's still force. Defense is force. You
No,
agree?
no.
No, you
Defense
don't
is
agree.
defense.
Defense is force.
Let me look that up. Defense is defending.
Yes, but it's using force.
Offense is force.
No, defense is also can be used as force. Yes, both are force. You could say enforce might be a different word. Maybe that's what you're looking for, is enforce.
Wait.
Enforce would usually be the aggressor.
I
Right?
typed this defense force, and it says yes. The term
Yes.
defense force can refer to the national military. So I don't think they understand it. I'm gonna try to type
Yeah.
it before.
Okay. Well, if you're defending yourself by punching a person in the face, you're using force, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
What
So
the
then
reason why I'm saying
defense is also force, and offense is force. They're both force in this situation that we're
I wouldn't
talking about.
necessarily put them in the same category, but I'm gonna do you for a
I
second.
would
For the
agree that
sake of argument,
intent. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna agree with you, but that's
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
easy one. It's just
Okay. So when we're talking about enforcement, right? You don't want to actually have any sort of enforcement at the governmental level, at the so you don't want your ecclesiology to be enforced at the government level, right?
no, I do actually.
Okay, you do. So you actually want to use force then,
No, I
don't
don't
you?
want. No.
Well, then
You asked
how?
me
I
two
don't understand. How
questions.
could the government enforce it without force?
Hear what you're saying, what I want. What I would prefer if we
Mhm.
lived according to God's laws, absolutely. Am I gonna force or tell the government by force we got to do that? No. You
If you
show me where Christ. You show me where
Well,
Christ did what he did by force.
wait, that's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking if you would force a government. I'm asking if you would like for the government to enforce your worldview.
No.
No,
I
okay.
would just. No, I wouldn't like. No, I would
No,
not. Because
no.
if they get, let me answer. If they get to enforcing, somehow blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is gonna be the one enforced while y'all free. I don't want y'all to force nothing. Y'all history of force, black people, Hispanic people suffer.
Okay, so then in your view of your ecclesiology, you don't want that at the government top down level promoting your ecclesiology, right? You don't want the government doing that?
Not by force, no.
Then
I
what
don't
the
see that in
fuck
the
is the
Bible.
difference between the system you're advocating for in the West and the one we already have, where you can already do the shit you're doing? What's the difference? It's the same
Because
system. The system here is the liberal system of you can do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting somebody else. The system that you're advocating, you can do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anybody
no,
else. You don't want
no,
any enforcement of your ecclesiology at the
that's not the
national level.
system I'm
Hang on, you
advocating.
literally said this. I don't want any of my ecclesiastical authority enforced at the national level or the government level, period. You don't want that. So how is it that right this second, we don't already have what you want? Right this second, you can be a polygynist. right this second, we can do exactly what anybody can do exactly what you're doing. You can go fuck a chick and say, now you're my wife. And she goes, oh, I agree. And so both of you, hang on, both of you now are married according to you. You can do this. Hang on, you can do this right this second. What are you bringing? What are you bringing to the table here that's changing any of this? What are you bringing to the table here?
So in the beginning of this diet, first I want to show how nasty he is because he brought up having sex with a chicken. That's Epstein.
Chick. No, I said a chick, not a fucking chicken. I say you go bang a chick.
Chicken. No problem. So now,
no, not well, that wouldn't even make sense in context. You can go bang a chicken and now you're married. It's like that wouldn't even make sense.
That's what it sounded like you said to me, man. I'm sorry.
Instead of a chick, really? Okay.
Yeah, it sounded like maybe he was talking too fast.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, what are you bringing to the table here that changes anything? It's just the same shit.
Well, first of all, the problems in the West have nothing to do with monogamy or polygamy. It has nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay. So then it's not good. Polygyny isn't good for the West then?
Well, when you're talking about saving the West.
Yeah, it's not going to save the West.
Well, monogamy hasn't saved the West.
Yeah, I'm not asking you about polygyny. Don't change the topic. Don't change the subject. How is polygyny going to save the West? And what is your system bringing to the table that's any fucking different than what we have right now? What?
Our version of marriage would absolutely save the West because there would be no more whores or whoremongers in America.
No, that's not true. You can't. You just said you wouldn't enforce your system.
You just asked, how would my way of life save the West? That's what you just asked.
How could it do it without enforcement from the top down?
Okay, you got to add that part. You got to add the part.
Yeah, it couldn't do it. It couldn't do it without enforcement.
Wait. So let me ask you a question, right?
No, answer my question first. How is it that absent enforcement, you're bringing any fucking thing to the table for anything to do with the West? And literally everybody can do exactly what you're doing right now. They could just have sex with a chick and then they're married as long as the chick agrees to it. What is it that you are bringing that's change?
Okay. I want to ask you a question after I answer that. Fair enough?
Okay.
Yes. So now what I bring to the table is actual value to sex. The problem with America is they don't value sex. So I will go to the American government and say, why is OnlyFans allowed?
But that's force. That's force. That's force, bro.
I would
That's force. That's force.
So now I have a question for you.
No. That's force. Do you concede that that's force? You going to the government and saying you need to make sure OnlyFans isn't allowed is you advocating for force of your worldview. Yes?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, then you lied to me again when you said, no, I don't want the government to enforce my worldview. You do. Don't you?
No, I don't.
Then how are they going to get rid of OnlyFans without force, bro? How?
I just agreed with you.
How are they going to get rid of OnlyFans without force, bro? How?
You just you just make it illegal.
And what happens? What happens if people do something that's illegal?
You go to jail.
Oh, so then force. Got it. So you're saying that you want to use the force of the state.
I want to do that.
Yeah, you just said it, bro.
I want to do that.
You just said it twice.
You asked the question that said,
sorry, bro.
No.
That's the end of the debate. That's it.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You just did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. You want to use force of the government to enforce your worldview. That's what you just said.
I don't even want to talk to the government.
Okay, then tell me, how is it that the government's going to get rid of OnlyFans again?
All you done in your so-called interrogation of me is ask the weirdest Epstein Island questions ever. And then you want
I didn't ask you anything about Epstein Island once. You just lied again. You just lied again.
I would force the government after I said I wouldn't go to the government. So when
you just contradicted yourself again. You said you would.
Question. I answered it. So I do have a
question. No, you didn't actually answer it. And so the thing is like, here's the thing is so interesting.
government.
You're saying you again, performative contradiction. Do you want to use force to impose your worldview using the government? No.
No.
I want the government to get rid of OnlyFans. That would be an imposition of your worldview using force. And how did I demonstrate that? Hang on. How did I demonstrate that? Hang on. How did I demonstrate that? I proved it by saying, how is it that they could get rid of OnlyFans without force? You said making it illegal. What happens to people do illegal things? They go to jail. That's force. That's the entailment of the position. You lost, sir. That's the end of that. Your imposition of your worldview that you don't want to impose due to force is actually you wanting to impose your worldview by force. Do you realize you contradicted yourself?
I just want to respond, and then I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
My initial answer said, I do not want to force the government to do anything. And then I said, I prefer that the government lives according to God's laws, but I wouldn't force them. And then the same way you asked the hypothetical question about one of my wives unaliving. You're about
to finish the debate right now, I promise. Go ahead.
Why are you interrupting?
No, I just want to show you. You're going to finish the debate right now. Go ahead. I'll show you.
Same way you asked the hypothetical question that never will happen about my wife, you asked another hypothetical question that never will happen.
The government can't get rid of OnlyFans?
So now my question to you.
Wait, hang on. So then I'll follow up this last one then. Last one. So then what is it if you're unwilling to use force for your worldview and approach the government for any top-down policies whatsoever? What is it that you're bringing to the table that we don't already have in this degenerate West? What is it that you're bringing to the table since everybody can already do what you do? They already can. Is it just your position that you're just going to go educate the masses? You're just going to educate them into everyone they fuck. They then become married to them? Or did you have some teeth behind that? Did you have something you were going to legislate or move towards? Did you have something like that? Or is it just, you're just going to go out and word salad them to death?
I'm actually great at what I do. And polygamous and monogamous people do anything they want right now.
That's right.
I will never.
And the West is still degenerate.
I still got to get interrupted. Who's the child?
The West is still degenerate, bro.
We'll play the game of talking over each other.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I won't interrupt you. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Y'all got it.
But go ahead.
Andrew yielded. Go ahead.
So now, I will never force the government to obey God because the government will never obey God. So your hypothetical question was answered, but it wasn't my answer. It's your hypothetical question. What I do is exactly what you said. It's what Christ did. Christ didn't force no government to follow him. He taught, and he was good at it. That's why the disciples did it. So I do the same exact thing. I teach to my people the value of sex, no force. And you know what? I'm good at it. So I don't have to force nobody. So now I have a question for you.
So now, hang on.
Wait,
just let you go. I'm just going to respond. I'm just going to respond. You can ask your question. So here's my response. Very simple, right? I asked you this question. What are you doing any different than what's already being practiced in the West? And you know what you just told me? Nothing. You are not offering anybody anything new. The same. You're promising them that the government's going to continue to fuck them over, going to continue to enforce degeneracy. It's going to continue to do all these horrible things under your system because you ain't got the balls to use force. You ain't got the balls to make any legislative changes. Nothing. You're just going to speak them to death. The reason that just lost you the debate is because when you say polygyny in the West is what's going to save the West, we already have mass polygyny in the West. We already have the same. We have people banging everybody all over the fucking place. We already have that. It's not saving, right? And you are not offering anybody anything new. You're literally offering the status quo. You're offering them the status quo. You get exactly the same you've always gotten under your worldview. And that's why you, sir, and polygyny is not going to save the West. And neither are Hebrew Israelites. You got nothing to offer. Nothing.
So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.